Welcome back to another class on Halacha for Women. We are in the sefer called Otzar Dinim by Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef Shlita. Today we want to speak about a situation where a woman is in the middle of her Shemona Esrei and she's being interrupted by small children. What is the procedure for her to go about in order to continue davening the Shemona Esrei without being interrupted by her small children? Even though the Shulchan Aruch brings down that when a person is davening Shemona Esrei, he has to see to it, it's as if he's in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So therefore he shouldn't move back and forth, but rather he should stand in one place. But there are exceptions where we're going to allow you to move during Shemona Esrei. One of the cases, for example, let's say a person is davening Shemona Esrei. Now it's Rosh Chodesh. Now he forgot Ya'aleh V'yavo, but he doesn't remember the Halacha. And it doesn't say it in the siddur also, because usually in certain siddurs they have the halachot. So what does he do? So he doesn't know what to do. So we're going to tell him he's allowed to move during Shemona Esrei without saying a word. Go take the book, look up the halacha, and then come back to your place and daven Shemona Esrei. So there are times when you are allowed to move. Another machloket, that when people shackle during Shemona Esrei, is it something right to shackle when you're going back and forth in Shemona Esrei? You have to understand, standing before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how can you sway back and forth? Imagine for a second, Lo Aleinu, a person is in front of a judge. You ever see in a courthouse where a person is being convicted, and when he's before the judge, you ever see them shackling? Never. Since they're afraid, so they stand still. So how do we shackle? So the Shulchan Aruch says that really is dependent on the person. If by shackling it gives you more kavanah, it allows you to focus better, you're allowed to shackle. But if by you shackling it takes away your kavanah, then we're going to tell you to stand still. So really it depends on the person. Whatever gives you more kavanah, that's exactly what you should do. So if by shackling you have more kavanah, shackle. If by standing you have more kavanah, stand. Okay, so therefore, knowing these two principles, what are we going to do right now when a woman is being interrupted by a child doing Shemona Esrei? Can she also move from place to place in order to be able to daven? Isha shahayta omedet b'tefillah Shemona Esrei. If a woman was standing in the prayer of Shemona Esrei, v'tinok hitil mayim b'samach alecha, and a child urinated next to her, she needs to go in front of her 4 amot, which is close to 6 to 8 feet. Or she has to move away from the urine to her side 4 amot, which again is 6 to 8 feet. Or she should come out from the room altogether. So once you did one of these steps, then you're allowed to go ahead and continue and finish your prayer. What happens if now she waited the amount that it takes her to finish the whole prayer? She has to go back to the beginning of the tefillah. Before we do continue, just want to touch upon 2 important points. Point number 1, the reason why a woman has to move when a child urinates next to her, it's not only urination. Even if there's number 2 or something like that, we need to know that when a person gets up to daven Shemona Esrei, especially if you have small children in the house, and sometimes the wife, when they change the diapers, if they really don't throw it away, they'll leave it in the place over there, and now it smells. So you can't just start davening. You have to make sure that your surrounding is clean. That means 4 amot to your left side, 4 amot to your right side. In front of you 4 amot, and in back of you 4 amot. You have to make sure that the whole thing is kadosh, meaning there's nothing there. There's no urine, there's no number 2, nothing. Because the pasuk says, "V'hayam mechanecha kadosh." It has to be holy. Your encampment has to be holy all around you. So this woman that she's davening Shemona Esrei, now the child urinated, what are we going to tell her? We're going to tell her to go forward 4 amot, because now once she goes forward 4 amot, that's no longer in her area, because that's not her area. Every single person has a right to 4 amot all around them. the radius of 4 amot. So that's what he's telling us over here, that if the child urinated right next to the mother, we're going to tell her, go 4 amot forward, go 4 amot to the side. If you can do that, now you can't really go 4 amot back. Why? Because by going 4 amot back, you're still going to see the urine. When it comes to the vision in the front, you can't distance just 4 amot. You have to be able to distance that you no longer see it. It has to disappear from your vision. So that's what he says. If you're not going front and you're not going to the side, you're not going back. You have to come out of the room completely. Once you come out of the room, you continue davening your Shemona Esrei. So point number 1 is, before a woman begins to daven, she has to make sure that her encampment, that her surrounding is clean. Point number 2, what does it mean over here that if she waited the amount of time that it takes her to finish the Shemona Esrei, she has to go back? So let me give you an example. Let's say right now I'm in the middle of davening Shacharit. I'm in the middle of my Shemona Esrei, or Mincha or Arabi, doesn't matter. And somebody in shul brought a child, and the child made number 2 in his diaper. So now the shul starts smelling. So nobody's allowed to daven, meaning anybody who's within that vicinity, anybody who's within the smell even if the smell is going to that side, and it's within them, that means they're not 4 amot away from the smell, they're in the radius of the smell, nobody's allowed to daven Shemona Esrei. So let's say I'm right next to the child, and now the child smells, everybody's davening Shemona Esrei, the father doesn't know the halachot, so he's also davening Shemona Esrei. They're not allowed to. So I pick up on it and I say it smells, and I stop davening. So I'm waiting for the father to finish so he can take the child. So the father is davening 1 minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. He's davening a nice long Shemona Esrei. Then he finishes, then he takes his child, then he leaves. Now I'm stuck because I was in the middle, let's say, of Borech Oleinu. Now I've waited more than the amount of time that I prayed Shemona Esrei, because the father was davening 15 minutes. Or even it could be 10 minutes, doesn't matter. But the point is, how long does it take me to daven Shemona Esrei? Say 5 to 7 minutes? So if I've waited more than that time, then automatically I lose my Shemona Esrei and I have to begin from the beginning. That means to say, if you have a person who davens 2 minutes Shemona Esrei or 3 minutes Shemona Esrei, humongous problem. Why? If he's in the middle of the Shemona Esrei and somebody let out gas in the shul, and the gas is so bad that he's waiting until the smell goes away because he can't daven, and he's waiting and he's waiting and he's waiting. 1 minute passed, 2 minutes passed, 3 minutes passed. Automatically, after the smell goes away, he has to begin everything from the beginning. Why? Because he's that type of person that davens 3 minutes. Everything goes according to the person, the amount of time that you daven Shemona Esrei. So the longer the Shemona Esrei you daven, the better chance you have of not going back. The shorter the Shemona Esrei you daven, and if this situation occurs, you have a problem. So that's what we have to understand over here. What happens right now, the child came, and let's say he urinated next to the mother. So the mother was, hoping that the father is going to pick up, he's going to come clean. By the time the father went, by the time he brought this, let's say she's that type of woman who davens Shemona Esrei 4 minutes. By the time the father went and he cleaned up the urine, it took 5 minutes. We're going to tell this woman, you waited more time than what you usually daven. Now you have to go back and repeat the whole Shemona Esrei again. That's what he says over here. If she waited the amount that it takes for her to finish the whole prayer, which let's say 4 minutes, she has to go all the way to the beginning of the prayer. Means she has to begin her prayer from anu. There's no difference if the pause was because she was silent, she didn't say a word, or because she interrupted with speech. The rule is, if you have waited the amount of time that's going to take you to finish the whole Shemona Esrei, you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the Shemona Esrei. So one more time, if a woman is accustomed to davening 4 minutes Shemona Esrei, now the child came and he urinated next to her, or somebody in the house let out gas, she can't continue davening, and nobody's opening up the windows, she could technically go open up the windows because we're afraid what's going to end up happening. But the longer she waits, there's a high chance she's going to have to go back, and all the other blessings are going to be in vain. So if she sees there's nobody, she can't get nobody's attention to open the window, she can go and do it. But what happens, she doesn't know that halacha. So she's waiting for the smell to go away because she knows you're not allowed to daven. She's waiting and she's waiting and waiting. 4 minutes passed, 5 minutes, 6 minutes passed. Now she wants to begin the Shemoneh Esrei. Oh, no. If you've waited, whether you were quiet or even if you spoke, if you waited more than the amount of time that it takes you to daven the 18 prayer blessing, you have to go back and repeat the whole Shemoneh Esrei. But let's go the other way. What happens if she's that type of woman that davens 10 minutes Shemoneh Esrei and the smell was only there for 8 minutes? Can she continue davening? Yes, because she didn't wait the amount of time that it takes her to daven Shemoneh Esrei. Tinok or yeled hamifriim leisha be'emta tefillah Shemoneh Esrei. If you have a child, meaning a baby or even a child, that are interrupting a woman in the middle of the Shemoneh Esrei, right? They're calling mommy, they're pulling on your shirt, they're doing balagan in the house. And they're interrupting, they're not allowing you to daven Shemoneh Esrei. Ve'ena remiza mo'ila lahem lishtok. And by you hinting to them, it doesn't help that they're going to be quiet, they're not understanding you. Ve'ena yachol litrachek behem. And she's not able to also distance herself from them. Mutar la lageshet alehem ulashtikam. It's permissible for her to approach the children or the infant and to quiet them down. Be'en omer vidvarim, without saying anything. You want to go, give them the pacifier, give them the bottle, put the child on the table, give them cereal. I don't know what's going to be. But you need to remember, while you're doing all this, even though you're in the middle of the Shemoneh Esrei, because now you stepped out, when you're doing all this, you have to make sure that you don't pass that time frame of the amount that it takes you to daven Shemoneh Esrei. Because if you do longer than that, you have to go back and repeat the Shemoneh Esrei. Have a great day. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.